Episode 78 is a follow-up of episode 77. So I kindly request you to first listen to episode 77 to connect with the discussion in episode 78. Thank you and enjoy this episode. We have spoken, more from the opportunity perspective. Now I would like to take a little bit jump into the challenges side. So what are the key challenges Japan faces in its space exploration efforts?
Yeah, technology development for sure, and then the business sustainability. I'm gonna say so. Like like as I talk about the dependence on the government fundings of Japan's industry, like as the other, like similar to the other countries, companies, we always thinking like searching the government funding, right? Like government money. So how can we make the sustainable ecosystem is the key for the next few years, and then how can like the policy support for the, not like strategic fund, they have a lot of money, like 1 trillion for a year. That's a big thing. Well, like how about the Japan's industry after this 10 years, like after this plan, can can we see real like ecosystem, like not depend on the government funding? I mean, like of course the government needs specific space technology, so we I won't say like 100% industry ecosystem, but like some point, how we can see the industry demand, how we can respond to the other like non like beyond space industry, how we can respond to the needs from the other sectors. So that's going to be a great challenge, and but it's challenge, but always it's opportunities to expand the space industry domestically and internationally.
Yes. Yeah, I think I agree with you. This will be always an opportunity to expand on both the international and the domestic side. And on the same lines, I would say programs like Artemis and ILS are also coming up, which are basically bringing more and more international cooperation. So consider the programs like Artemis and ILRS. What are Japan's plans for lunar exploration, and how do they fit into the global efforts to return to the moon?
So yeah, if I can start from like industry and government collaboration side for
Yes.
the lunar exploration. Uh, JAXA has been very, very actively working on the like lunar station idea, because it can integrate a lot of technology and ideas from the other side, like the foods, like agriculture on the moon, or like like we can see the like living like space there, like humans can live there. So we need more things like what we did, like what we have made in the ISS, like we need more things to live there. So the JAXA has been working on like Tansa X or Lunar Station program there. We see a lot of collaborations. And then, so the big things, I mean, like the strategy and political, like, lead things for the Artemis, as we do really anticipate sending Japanese astronauts to the moon. That's going to be our goal. And then a significant contribution from Japan to that program to be the lunar cruiser that Toyota has been developing so far. So yeah.
Interesting. And as we spoke about the international collaborations, of course, ISS should be the point of discussion as well over here. So, how is Japan contributing to the International Space Station? And can you also briefly discuss about the steps it will be taking in the future?
Yeah, sure. So I mean, like for the Japan's contribution to the ISS, also I can say something about it, because like we Kibo module, of course, that's a big contribution also, along with the H2HTB Hayabusa in Japanese, and automated cargo spacecraft used to resupply both the module and the entire ISS has made a significant contribution, I guess, to the ISS. And then looking ahead to the post-ISS era, we also aim to develop a commercial space station in collaboration with the US space companies such as Blue Origin and Sierra Space. So Blue Origin and Sierra Space already made agreement with the Japan's legacy space companies. So we are working on that now. And
Okay.
yeah, of course, Axiom Space, we have Japanese office, like Japanese like astronaut, like Koichi Wakata is working there now. So yeah,
Interesting. And we have spoken about the commercial side, the civilian space programs, even the military side also we briefly spoke about. I'd like to little bit, take a jump into the education and the social aspect of side of the Japan space program. So, what are the education and societal impacts of Japan space program on the country's youth and general population, and basically how it is, in general, helping the students to kind of take more interest in the space programs, and which will possibly even help flourish the space industry of Japan in the near future. So, from that perspective, what are your thoughts on this?
sure. I mean, like space is kind of dream, right? Like as I have dreamed a lot when I was of elementary school. And so
Yes.
always kind of good educational too, I guess, to not like even if it's like it's not directly to the space career, like it's always kind of like dream for people like the kids. And then JAXA has been sincerely dedicated to space education, inspiring dreams and hopes among many citizens. Like not in the political sense, more like but more broadly. But if we think about career, I at the university level, I saw a lot of communities in Japan doing space like research, more like not only the engineering, like more like policy as well, or like the industry analysis. Well, they always suffer like the kind of suffer to search, like they have difficulties to searching the jobs. They're very
Okay.
interested in them. They're also like talented, but like not enough jobs there. If you think about domestically, so like SGAC, we don't see any Japanese there, right? And like so always
Yes.
students in Japan, like also if I can say Asia Pacific, they're more they have a lot of community inside of the country, within the country, but like not beyond the region, like
Yes.
not like internationally. So like, of course, like I agree that's like that as an industry, like that's also the challenge for the industry. Like we have to expand, like like to increase the chairs for young generation, but at the same time, as a young like professional or like as a student, we should also like go abroad like to see more
Yes.
like international opportunities there. So like that's the two things we can do more for the space education. And then all the time what I say is yeah, I'm doing like the space policy research, like space policy research, or like the very very focused on the space policy since master degree. But what my colleague always say to
Yeah.
me, like and you should also like do more things in the other sectors always. Like, like space policy, it's kind of like we see a very special sector. Like we don't say, like the other
Yes.
sector like car policy or like other, so we see it very special, but like it won't be like I hope it won't be that special because like if you make the market, it won't be like, that kind of only
Yes.
like space thing. So I do always recommend and encourage the other space enthusiastic like students to see like okay it's like don't focus too much on the space field. Like if you wanna do like make a really like big change, you should have some conceptual like foundation in other sectors like very fixed education or like academic sector. I'm gonna say like economics or like engineering, like the law. And
Yeah.
then you have to think how to apply those kind of basic foundation, like basic concept to the space industry. And then also
Okay.
not only the academic side, like more the industry side, you have to it's like important to experience in others like nuclear policy or like energy policy, environmental policy, like those kind of like people are very like have long history, right? Like legu to regulate the industry,
Yes.
regulate the industry like so so not too much focus on the space. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's also advice for myself. But I mean, don't that for like yeah, like experience in the more like many years, and then think about how to apply the things to the space industry. So I mean, like it's good to have the kind of like big some like core of like your interest and like the expertise in the space, but like to think broadly, and that can be so yeah good. I think I don't know if I can say it's the space education,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's my advice.
Interesting. No, I think
Oh,
I agree with you. I mean, there are several of the, I would say, kind of aspect as you mentioned, and space shouldn't only be focused. There are several aspects we need to bring in, and then things should proceed ahead. But yeah, anyways, again coming back to the actual topic, I think we are because reaching the end of the podcast now. So, what can we expect from Japan's space program in the next 5 to 10 years? And are there any upcoming missions or project that we should be especially excited about? I'm mentioning this the excited moment because robotics is something that is very much developed in Japan. So that's the reason I mentioned, should we be kind of excited for the upcoming missions that will be coming out of Japan? Can you just elaborate on that as well?
yeah. If I speak about the program, like the future upcoming missions, the Toyota Lunar Cruiser will be a significant milestone for us. And then additionally, we successfully launched the H3 last month and then look forward to further advancements soon. And then the MMX program is an exciting international initiative to watch. And obviously, not only the like national or right JAXA programs, Astroscale and iSpace have gained considerable international attention, and then we can anticipate more developments from them in the near future.
Yeah, interesting. I think yes, we can expect such developments, and I think yeah, we have now reached the end of the podcast. But I believe there have been several questions which have popped up in between the conversation, and I hope in the next few episodes in the coming future, we'll be able to call you again to take a deep dive into this topic. Actually, but yeah, coming to the final question of the episode. This is not related to our topic that we discussed just now, but I believe every expert and the research scholars who basically comes as a expert speaker on this podcast has something to offer in terms of anecdotes or maybe kind of key takeaways for the people who are trying to make their way into the space industry, or who are also even working existing in the space industry but trying to make their way towards certain verticals or the niche areas. So for this question is for them, and from your perspective you can answer, from your experience you can basically give them key takeaways, because there is a whole lot of student audience who listens to this podcast, and the research scholars as well. So I hope they get a good kind of message from your side. So this question is for them. What message would you like to give to the researchers, students, and experts working in the space industry?
Yeah, yeah, I think as you said, we really rushed into a lot of topics. So yeah, for sure, if we can have like next chance, we can deep more like into some like
Yes, yes.
very very few topics, and then yeah, talk about it. And then I'd love to always talk with other like people, especially young professionals, because
Yeah,
I really like do want to make some change like now, like real actions, not only like say, oh, we should do blah blah blah. Like not like researcher job is not only that we have to really do something in like, and then policy is a good too. Regulation is not always like only regulate like or like stop the industry development. We have to think about how to balance it out for
yeah,
the future development. So yes, and then for like having said that, for space studies, it is increasingly important to bridge sectors interdisciplinary research, like thinking is essential now. And we must
yes,
always consider how to implement plans and strategy into practical actions. And then in that process of strategy and policy making, I'd likely to emphasize the significance of sustainability in three key areas. So, our sustainability from space, how we can use the space technology to the like global warming, how we can like contribute to that initiative, and sustainability in space. That's my focus. So yeah, I'm gonna say yeah, and then also the business sustainability, how to make uh the ecosystem, how to make the space market in many sectors. So that can be uh yeah, great keys and points for the future space industry, I guess. Not only Japan, like more international. And then also personally, I'd always love to think about like search the collaborations between Japan and other countries, regions, and international collaboration on that. Yeah.
okay, that's great. I hope the student research scholars and even the people who are working as an entrepreneur in this industry to take away some good key pointers from this episode. And as I mentioned, Yui, thank you very much for the insights. And I believe in the future we'll be recording more episodes, because this was the first episode on Japan's space developments. So you're setting basically a benchmark now, and now we'll be basically going in full force to cover more key developments from this region. So yeah, thank you very much again, and we hope to host you again on the podcast.
Thank you very much.
Yes.